The book was published in 1859. Modern civilization, the world that we know, is largely based upon the belief that nature itself is modeled after survival of the strongest. Is Darwin's language. Darwin called it survival of the strongest. Later it was called survival of the fittest. But Darwin's own words, he said survival of the strongest. So the economic system that is collapsing now in the world is based upon survival of the strongest. The corporate system that is having so much turmoil right now, the way we're solving our problems in nations, in the Middle East and Africa, within our own countries, it's all based on a model that we now know is obsolete, because the new discoveries are showing us not only is nature not based upon competition, it is actually based on the model of cooperation. Good news right here. In the late 1990s, early 90s, and then it was published in the 90s, over 400 scientific studies asked the same question. 400 studies said, what is the optimum amount of competition anywhere? In the classroom, in the playing field, in the workplace, in the home. What is the optimum amount of competition? All 400 studies came back with exactly the same answer, and the answer is 0. The ideal amount of violent competition in any environment, in the classroom, the workplace, the family, the playing field, is none. Violent competition always is destructive. So when I look at my background in the industry with crises, I think I'm in the perfect place right now to bridge the wisdom of the past with the best science of today and marry those two ways of knowing. Science, what we call spirituality, not religion, but spirituality, a deep understanding of our relationship to the earth.
That's a very good point of view, because you've been working as a geologist, and I was thinking, did this help you think about the electromagnetic field like in a different way, or that, I don't know, what happens to us connects a lot with the energies underneath?
As a geologist, I had the opportunity to study the Earth itself through the language of the Earth, rather than the interpretations of another scientist or another person. For example, almost universally ancient texts and traditions all tell us that we could expect a time of great change in this lifetime. Not bad change, just big change. And my question, even as a child, how did they know? How did our ancestors know that we would live at a time of such tremendous change? The answer to that question is that our ancestors understood the cycles and the rhythms of Earth and nature and time. Modern science is only beginning to understand those rhythms and those cycles. So if we want to know realistically what we can expect in our world, in our lives, if we want to know about the changes of the Earth, it makes tremendous sense to look into the records of the Earth herself. And for me, as a geologist, that was a very natural language, looking at the ice cores of Antarctica, for example, the ice cores of Greenland, the seafloor sediment cores, and the tree ring history of the last few thousand years. We need only look at the records of the Earth to really understand the cycles and to know where we are in the cycles and what we can expect and how we can adapt to the changes in our lives.
And these records say that whatever happens now happened before, or is unprecedented and we don't know what's going to happen?
That's a very delicate question. The records of the Earth's history from the ice cores right now go back about 420,000 years. We have very good records from the ice cores in Antarctica, very specifically an ice core that was drilled over Vostok Lake. It's called the Vostok Ice Core from 1999. And the Vostok core correlates well with other ice cores from Greenland and other parts of Antarctica. And what it shows is the rhythms of the warming and the cooling of the Earth, the rhythms of the increase and the decrease of greenhouse gases on the Earth. We see this through almost 500,000 years of Earth's history. If we want to know if Earth is growing broken, and if we have broken, we can look to the ice cores of the past, and what we find is that we are in a time where we should experience warming on the Earth. It's expected because of where we are in the cycles. And from the cycles of the past, the warming that we're experiencing now is not anomalous. It is anomalous to us. No one in this generation has ever experienced the warming that we're seeing now. Our parents didn't experience the warming. Our grandparents didn't experience the warming. It's been thousands of years since we've had this cycle that we're experiencing now. The question is whether or not we're causing the warming. And I think it's safe to say, as a scientist, that we are not the cause of the warming itself. We may have contributed to the warming through the addition of the greenhouse gases that we created. But even before we created the greenhouse gases, it's very clear in the records of the past that we have been warmer than we are now, that the warming is intense, it's brief, and it is rhythmic, it is cyclic. And there are cycles within cycles. There are 100,000-year cycles, there are 50,000-year cycles, there are 21,000-year cycles, 12,000, 5,000-year cycles. So it depends on how finely we would like to divide the cycles. But the key is, if we really want to understand our relationship to the Earth, I think it's good to ask the questions and let the Earth give us the answers in terms of what has happened in the past. If we know where to look in the past, it gives us a very good understanding of where we are now and what we can expect in the future. One of the very interesting things, and difficult questions that's been found, is that when we look at the warming of the past, typically the temperatures warm first, and then the greenhouse gases accelerate after that. They increase after